You saw the title of this video, and I'm gonna do my best to answer the question, how much bleach do I need to wash a roof? And we can get down into the weeds, pull out the calculator, and put the old mixology degree to work to figure out exactly how many gallons it's gonna take to wash a roof. But there are a bunch of factors that come into play that make it a little bit harder than you might think. And yes, there is some science, there is some math, but there are a handful of other things that are going to have a huge impact on the bleach consumption during any given job that we need to talk about first. And we're gonna do something fun towards the end of the video. I'm gonna show you guys a roof that we have recently done. I'm gonna give you all the details, all the information, and then you're gonna take what you learned in this video and you're gonna tell me how many gallons of bleach that we used to get that job done. Now, the first thing is, how strong is the bleach that you're starting with? Most of the household bleach that you can get at the grocery store or the Dollar General are about 5%. Then if you go to a big box store like a Home Depot or a Lowe's or a Walmart, you can get something like Pool Essentials that is labeled at 10%. And then of course, when you're buying from industrial suppliers, you can get as strong as 12.5%. Now, the temperature outside also can impact how much bleach that you're going to use. If it's super cold, it's not going to be nearly as effective because bleach works by releasing oxygen molecules, which break down and kill the organics. And when it's colder outside, these chemical reactions decrease, which means the bleach isn't going to work as well. The best temperature is between like 50 degrees and 70 degrees. That's the optimal time to wash a roof, or really anything if you're using bleach. But it's also important to understand that bleach will still work in colder conditions, but it's just going to take longer to achieve the results that you're probably after. And then of course, you got the pitch of the roof. If it's walkable, you can use your fan tip and get a nice even application with less runoff. Thus, you're going to use less bleach. Now, if it's a roof with a pretty decent pitch and you're hitting it from the ground with a tall reach tip, you're going to be flooding the roof, and that does consume more bleach. And if you've been doing this for any amount of time and you're washing a roof that you can't walk, something that doesn't factor into the mathematical equations is wind. Wind is going to play a factor because it's going to decrease the amount of solution you're actually putting on the roof, which means less bleach that you're actually getting on the surface to be cleaned, and that means it's going to increase the amount of bleach that you're going to have to continue to spray to get the desired results, which again adds to more bleach that you're going to use. Obviously, the most important thing is how dirty the roof is. If you've got a roof that doesn't have a tremendous amount of buildup, whether that's moss or whether it's glowio-capsomagma, and whether it's a asphalt shingle roof, a barrel tile roof, a metal roof, the amount of buildup is going to impact how much bleach you use. And the reason why is the dirtier it is, the stronger the solution, or the more times you're going to have to apply to actually kill everything that's growing up there. And if you've got years and years of buildup, the chances of an easy application, it ain't happening. It's going to take a hotter mix and likely a few more applications, which takes us back to the bleach that you're starting with. If you're only using a 5%, you're not ever going to be able to get anything hotter than that 5%, which means more applications, which means more bleach. One thing that can help is having a high quality soap or a surfactant mixed in with your bleach. And what this does is it allows the bleach to stay on the roof longer, the active ingredients doing their thing, killing the organics, not running off because that surfactant is thickening up the bleach and it's keeping it on the roof longer, which means less runoff, which means less opportunity for damaging anything below, but it's also saving you money because it's keeping the bleach on the roof longer. Now, this video is not going to be about the equipment and the proper techniques to wash a roof effectively, but equipment and technique are important factors as well. And the longer you've been doing it, the more experience you have, the more proficient and efficient you become in the application of the solution. And if you're looking for more information on how to clean roofs or anything else on a residential property, check out How to Wash, where we go over the chemicals, how to get to the exact ratios you need to clean every surface, the best application methods, property protection, essentially everything you need to learn in order to hit the ground running, cut the learning curve, and be the most profitable and efficient you can be in the quickest amount of time without making a bunch of dumb and expensive mistakes. There is a link below. It's $100 off this month. So let's briefly touch on your equipment. If you're using a dedicated soft wash pump, whether that's electric, gas, air diaphragm, hell, some people even try to use the X-Jet to try to clean a roof. But having the ability to throw up a hot enough mix in an efficient way is going to contribute as well to how much bleach you're using on a roof. So now that we've covered some of the contributing factors to the roof wash solution, let's talk about how much you're actually going to use. And again, we can play around with math and we can come up with an exact number on paper, but depending on all the variables that we talked about, you should figure about 1 gallon of a 6% mix for about 50 square feet of roof. So that's about 15 gallons that will treat about 1,000 square foot of roof. But again, these are just averages, a rough estimate based on my experience, based on some basic chemistry and some math, but ultimately the condition of the roof and all the other things that we talked about are going to determine how much you're actually going to have to use. So for a real world example, I'm going to show you a video of a roof that we recently washed. I'm going to give you all of the details details of that roof, of that job, all of the factors that came into play. And I'm going to try to give you as much information as I possibly can because I want you to take a guess at how many gallons of bleach it took to clean this roof. So take a few seconds, watch the video, take a look at the roof, how dirty it is. Obviously, it is a walkable roof, and for all intents and purposes, there was not a tremendous amount of wind that day. It was probably about 85 degrees outside, maybe a little bit warmer. There is no moss on the roof. All that we were dealing with is the black streaks, which, if you want to get technical, is called glowio-capsa-magma. And in this video, we are using a Remco 5.5 gallon 12 volt Softwash pump. We're using a batch buster blend manifold to regulate our mix. And with this roof, we were at a 6% ratio. Now, you might be looking at the roof and thinking to yourself, you probably don't need to be that strong, but a little background here. And I did make a video about this roof and this job, but the homeowner had hired a painting company. The painter painted the house, and he also pressure washed the house prior to painting it, and he offered to do the concrete and the roof as well. Unfortunately for the homeowner who is trying to sell this house, the painter did not own a soft wash system. He used a pressure washer on the asphalt shingles, and he caused some damage. Now, we were called out to evaluate and see if we could fix it, and what I did determine was the best course of action would be just to soft wash the entire thing and try to even out what the painter had done. So I think that I've given you guys enough information to come up with how many gallons you think it took us to clean this particular roof. So if you haven't yet, pause the video, take a few seconds, and leave your guess of how many gallons of bleach it took to clean this roof in the comment section down below. All right, so hopefully you have gone ahead, you've left your comment down below with how many gallons that you think it took. And now I am going to show you exactly how many gallons that we used. So we measured out this house using the Quote IQ mapping tool, which integrates with the quoting system and spits out the square footage of the structure and a price based on our numbers. So as you can see here, the house is approximately 3,680 square feet. And obviously, I told you guys that we were using a 6% target, and we use 10% SH that we get from a local supplier. And we know that it takes about 1 gallon per 5 square feet of that solution. So we're at about 59 gallons of total solution, which means that we used 35 gallons of bleach. And at the time of this video, we are currently paying about $2.95 per gallon. So that means we spent about $100 in SH, which means the SH cost is about 13% of the total job. So make sure that you charge accordingly. Make sure that you're making a profit. Cover your costs. Keep track of your costs. You can do all of that in Quote IQ as well as use our free mix calculator. And that is it for today. I hope it helped, and I hope you have a great day.